The TARDIS arrives on Earth in 1925, where, due to case of mistaken identity, the Fifth Doctor ends up playing in a local cricket match. Travelers accept an invitation to a masked fancy dress ball, but events take on a more sinister tone as murders are perpetrated at the country home of their host, Lord Charles Cranley. Welcome, friends and companions. How are you today? Here is your host, Enigmatic Joker. Sci-Fi and fantasy fans, and actually many different fans, meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. Ooh, yeah, Doctor Who. And we also want to make friends on this channel and companions and all sorts. Yeah. Also, we have multiple names for this channel, but most of the time I use the name Random Entertainment Channel. And random because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music, except for politics and religion. These are not entertainment. Uh, but after all, we want to have fun and jokes and laughter. So this channel has jokes and laughter high. Yeah, high in sky. Random, because we're broadcast on non-fixed times next to many different times. So you need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. And one of the reasons I broadcast on many different times is because I want to meet other people from other countries, different people from different time zones. So that's the reason I broadcast on different times. And I want to go with the waves. So yeah, when I am yeah, whatever. When I have actually want to live stream, I live stream. That's why. Um, Random also because we will have no guests or different guests. If you want to depend someone to join me in live stream panel. And also, if you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look as possible. You can actually put a comment on one of my videos to contact me, and you can visit me on the Discord server, Random Entertainment Channel, Tech Doctor Who. You can find you can search machines on Discord. If you take Doctor Who, you can find me very quickly because I bump the server very regularly. So um, also, feel free to invite me for your channel, for a live stream or panel. I'm available. I want to make friends, I want to network, and I want to contribute to your channel. So, in summary, you are invited for my channel. Feel free to invite me for your channel. So, I want to say cheers, mate. Have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker. That's me. And today we have a Peter Davison story, a Fifth Doctor story called Black Orchid. So, some general info. Black Orchid was the fifth serial of season 19 of Doctor Who. It was the shortest story of the season at just 2 episodes. For the first time since seasons 4, The Highlanders, the only science fiction elements in the story were the TARDIS and its occupants. Black Orchid was notable for being the highest rated story of the Davison era, as a reference to the Fifth Doctor Handbook. It also gave Sarah Sutton a chance to play two different characters, Nissa and Anne, and Davison the opportunity to actually play cricket, thereby justifying his costume. According to the DVD commentary, none of the regular cast truly enjoyed the script, though Sutton admitted to, quote, disliking it less, end quote, than Davison, Janet Fielding, and Matthew Waterhouse. Collectively, they believed it to be comprised of Edwardian era stereotypes and no mystery or dramatic tension whatsoever. So, this is some general info. And I was already saying, this story contains 2 episodes. So, spoiler alert. Even haven't watched and or listened to this story, two-part story yet, I highly recommend you to do that. Otherwise, you can choose to listen further to the plot. I will take some water and then I start. Okay, let's start. In a corridor of a stately home, a servant called Digby is strangled to death by a horribly scarred and disfigured man. The murderer is later overpowered and left tied up on a bed by Letony, a South American Indian with a lip disc. Elsewhere in the house, a young woman named Anne Talbot sleeps soundly, unaware of what has happened. The TARDIS lands in 1925 at Cranleigh Hall, a small railway station in rural England, and Tegan wonders where they are, and the Fifth Doctor explains their location, saying he always wanted to drive a train when he was a boy. They walk out front to find a chauffeur named Tanner, who says he has been waiting for the Doctor, much to his surprise, telling him he's expected for a cricket match. Though the invitation is unexpected, the Doctor is keen to play. Soon he, Edric, Nissa, and Tegan have arrived at Cranleigh Hall, home of the Cranleigh family. The Doctor is immediately put into the game and does superbly, bringing the team back from defeat to a win and delighting Charles Cranleigh to who invites the travelers to fancy dress party that evening as thanks for a splendid performance. After the match, the cricketers and spectators retreat to Cranleigh Hall for introductions. The doctor is asked what his name is, but Charles explains the doctor wishes to remain incognito. In an opulent sitting room that contains a display case housing a magnificent black orchid, Lady Cranleigh laments the loss of her botanist son, George, who was killed on an Amazon expedition to find the rare bloom. When told that the party would be a costume party, Edric, Nissa, and Tegan say they do not have costumes to wear. Lady Cranleigh is confused as she believed they were already wearing costumes. While everyone asks for a drink, Lady Cranleigh wonders about Nissa's origins, thinking she may be from a rich and prestigious family she knows, but Nissa repeatedly asserts she's not from around there. Much to everyone's surprise, Charles walks in with his fiancée Anne Talbot, who is almost an exact double of Nissa, aside from a mole and has on one shoulder. The travelers set off to their rooms to prepare for the ball. Charles provides the doctor with a costume for the party, a harlequin suit with a full mask. The doctor removes his frock coat and tries on the mask to see how he will look before putting the costume on his bed and heading to the bath to freshen up. Someone uses a secret passage to enter the doctor's room and hides nearby while the doctor emerges from the bathroom wearing a robe, wondering what caused the noise. He finds the secret passage and ends up locked out of his room, stuck in a secret passage. At the same time, the unknown person takes the doctor's costume. Upstairs, Nissa, Tegan, and Talbot prepare for the party. Nissa is confused on what to wear when Anne has a copy of her costume brought in for Nissa to prank the guests as to which one of them is which. As Nissa is not from Earth, she's unsure on how to dance at the party, so Tegan decides to demonstrate the Charleston, a dance popular in 1925 for a friend's benefit. In the meantime, the doctor finds his way out of the corridor and into a hidden area of the mansion. He finds closets of old clothes and books, as well as more shocking discovery. A man's body in a cupboard. Elsewhere, the doctor's companions are enjoying the party. Nissa is enjoying having people guess whether she is Anne or not, and Tegan is loving the dancing, while Eldrick is far more interested in enjoying the food. They begin to wonder where the doctor is. The person who stole the Harlequin costume walks out of the mansion, taking Anne in a dance, during which he leads her inside to the hallway as she tries to excuse herself. However, the figure grabs Anne's wrists and she shouts to James, a servant, for help. James attempts to come to Anne's aid, but the figure grabs him around the neck and throws him violently to the floor and faints, while the figure turns and closes in on her, his white gloved hands reaching for her neck. End of part 1. Part 2. Doctor finds Lady Cranley and her servant Latoni in one of the secret passages and shows them the body. He agrees to not tell the guests to avoid causing panic. He returns to his home. The Doctor imposter carefully returns the costume. The Doctor arrives back at his room and dresses in the costume set out for him, unaware it has just been worn by a killer. Lady Cranley and Latoni come to a locked door in secret passages. On the other side of the door, Anne wakes and panics at the unfamiliar surroundings, while a mysterious figure hides under her bed. Anne runs out of the room and into the arms of Lady Cranley. Latoni enters the room and ties up the figure, a horribly disfigured man with death, drooping skin on his face, and no tongue. James's body has been discovered, and the servants alert Sir Robert Muir, the chief constable. As the doctor descends the stairs and identifies him as her assailant, the doctor defends himself, saying he has just put the costume on and had only just come down the stairs after being lost in the secret passages of the house. However, Anne is adamant that the doctor attacked her and killed James. Sir Robert asks Charles to conclude the party early, saying he should tell the guests there has been an accident and asks them to leave. The doctor asks if he wore the mask during the attack and confirms this, and the doctor says someone may have worn an identical costume to his. However, Anne points out she was in charge of giving out the fancy dress costumes, and there was only one harlequin outfit. Doctor asks Lady Cranley to help him establish his alibi. Strangely, Lady Cranley refuses to corroborate the doctor's presence in the secret corridors. The existence of the other body or introducing him to Latoni, Charles receives a telephone call from his friend Smutty Thomas, who apologizes that the doctor who was supposed to play in the cricket match missed the train. Having been exposed as an imposter, the doctor tells them that he is a time-traveling alien. Family naturally do not believe him and send him away with the police, along with Nissa, Tegan, and Edric, believing them to be accessories to his crime. Hello, madman with a box. How are you today? Black Orchid. You say Black Orchid. It's been so long since I've seen that one. Love the costumes that I remember. Yes, the costumes are very, yeah, cool. How you call it? Yeah, very. It's actually a costume ball. Yeah. So the police stop at the railway station after the doctor says evidence to prove his story is there. But the TARDIS is missing from the platform and they have no choice but to go to the police station. There, a policeman tells Sir Robert they have found a police box which no key can open. And so the doctor says this time he can prove his story and opens the TARDIS with his key, telling everyone to get inside. Sir Robert is amazed by the spacious TARDIS interior and apologizes to the doctor for his wild accusations. But there is still the matter of the murders. Sir Robert decides to head back to Cranley Hall, but the doctor tells him he can't get him there more quickly than a car and activates the TARDIS. Um, okay, very good. Doing good. Just saw the stream up and going and thought I pop in. Yeah, very welcome. Any favorite moments of the top of your head? Um, what do you mean by that? For this story? Um, okay. Back at the house, the disfigured man has broken free of his restraints. He finally attacks Latoni, who, in his last moments of consciousness, it's unclear whether Latoni dies or not, manages to slip the key into a crack in the floor. Unable to unlock the door, the man piles paper beneath it and sets fire to it so he can escape. The TARDIS lands right outside the mansion, and as Ron runs out to Sir Robert, and upstairs the unknown man breaks through his door and goes downstairs where Charles is assuring Lady Cranley that he will look after Anne. As Charles approaches, telling him everything will be all right, this figured man backs away into the doctor and the others who had just entered. In a panic, the man grabs Nissa and takes her with him upstairs into the burning part of the house. The doctor, Edric, and Charles try to follow, but the stairs are ablaze and they are forced to come back down to the hallway. So Grady Cranley tells Sir Robert that the scarred figure is George, her son. However, the doctor points out that George has taken Nissa and not Anne, possibly due to his bad eyesight, and she will be in danger when he realizes his mistake. Outside on the terrace, Lady Cranley explains everything to Sir Robert. George was not killing during his search for the Black Orchid in the Amazon, but it was captured and tortured by the Koyabe tribe, who considered the bloom sacred and themselves its guardians. After George's maiming, Latony's tribe rescued and looked after him. Latony brought George home, where his family preferred that he stay out of sight and pretend to be dead. Chafing under these restrictions, George only wanted to speak Anne, his former fiancée, which was why he was stalking her. The doctor attempts to reach George through the house, while Charles climbs up the side. They confront George on the roof, where the doctor calms George down by explaining that it's not Anne he is holding, and is below in the garden. And George realizes this and releases Nissa. Charles thanks George and attempts to embrace his previously lost brother, but a frightened George recoils from Charles and overbalances, falling over the edge of the roof to the terrace below. Sir Robert hurries forward to check on the sprawled figure, then looks up at Lady Cranley and shakes his head sadly. George is dead. After attending George's funeral, Charles, Anne, and Lady Cranley say goodbye to the doctor and his companions outside the TARDIS. Taking is a large box containing their fancy dress costumes, which they have been given as parting gifts. But the doctor receives a further gift from Lady Cranley, a leather-bound copy of George's book, Black Orchid, which the Time Lord says he will treasure. And that, my friends, is the end of this fifth Doctor story, Black Orchids, a two-part story. Yeah, was I think 4 episodes was also a good plan to have the four plan, but more than with more other twist erin. in it with other mysterious things in it. And there's a little bit of it's the same as with the unicorn and a wasp sort of feeling actually with Agatha Christie in it. Yeah, I like some of that stories, and then also the costumes, the dancing, the Charleston, of course. Um, yeah, and that old music from the 20s. I like that in a story. So yeah, the whole environments in it. That's what I like in his story. So, and name some cast members. The Doctor is played by Peter Davison. Edric is played by Matthew Waterhouse. Tegan, Janet Fielding. Nissa and slash Anne Talbot is played by Sarah Sutton. Lady Cranley is played by Barbara Murray. Sir Robert Meyer is played by Murray Watson. Lord Charles Cranley is played by Michael Cochrane. Brewster is played by Ryan Huxley. Tanner is played by Timothy Block. Tony is played by Ahmed Akali. Um, Sergeant Markham is played by Ivor Salter, and the Constable is Cummings is played by Andrew Torrell. And the George Cranley is played by Garrett Milne. Okay, some world building. Three things in books. Lady Cranley gives the Doctor a parting gift, Black Orchid by George Cranley. Second thing is that the Doctor finds a textbook of botany for students. And the third thing is that the story's Doctor about being a time traveler is compared to something written by H.G. Wells. Sir Robert Meyer says he has heard of Wells. He writes fiction. Some world building with the Doctor. The Doctor claims he always wanted to drive a steam train as a boy. Another thing that in culture is that Tegan learned the Charleston for a play when she was in school. And the second thing is that the song the Doctor is singing as he gets ready for his bath is "I Want to Be Happy" from the musical No No Nanette, which is fairly apt as the production has its debut the year this story was set in 1925. So there are also some reasons why I like this story because the for the cultural things. Um, the dance, the music, environments. Also, was some role building in cricket. Charles Cranley says his team was, quote, taking a terrible thrashing, end quote, and that he had, quote, made a duck, end quote. Some world building foods, beverages. Tegan asks for a screwdriver. That's an orange juice and a vodka. Yeah, some drink. Yeah, actually, I like that. Orange juice and vodka. That combination. By the way, I like also sort of cocktails with liquors and rum and some really some good fruits and juice. Yeah, but also like beers, by the way. Yeah. Uh, okay, some locations. Both Lady Cranley and Anne Talbot ask Niska if she is from Worcestershire. And the second thing is Sir Robert assumes Trucken is near Esher. Okay, some story notes for the story. The working title for the story was The Beast. To preserve the mystery of his character's identity, Garrett Milne was credited The Unknown for part one and the Radio Times, and as George Cranley for part two. Another thing is that this is the first two-part serial of 1980s, and first since season 12's The Sontaran Experiment in 1975. Another thing is that although Sarah Sumner was credited as Nissa N on screen for both episodes, she was billed only as Nissa in Radio Times. Another thing is that outdoor conditions deteriorated during filming, so the actors were required to perform through wind and rain. You see, decom black orchids. Another thing is that Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, and Meta Waterhouse don't look up this story favorably, considering the script weak. Also in decom black orchids. Second thing is that Emmett Khalil Latoni has had to have his voice dubbed in for certain scenes due to his lip disc, also in Black Orchid decom. Um, while other stars have featured incidental indications that Doctor likes cricket, for example, TV story The Ribbers Operation, Questo Valva, Forte Doomsday, and Human Nature, this is the only televised story to depict Doctor playing in an actual match. Peter Davison, a keen cricketer, actually did play cricket in the Doctor's cricket match and did quite well. He bowled out his opponent. If the Doctor's particular love of the game will be later developed in other media, it has, for instance, been significantly featured in a number of audio stories. For example, Phantasmagoria, Roof of the World, Autumn, and in a comic that is called The Forgotten. Another thing is that Peter Davison claimed that Terence Dudley told him he had written the script for a murder mystery series, found it in a bottom drawer, and just turned it into a Doctor Who story. Another thing is that, according to Eric Savard, this was John Turner's favorite story. And Sarah Sutton also named it as a favorite. Next note is that Sarah Sutton and Janet Fielding were delighted to take part in the dance sequences. Matthew Waterhouse was less enthusiastic and suggested that Edric should be more interested in the food, so he would not have to participate in the choreography. And Gary Downey claimed that Waterhouse has two left feet. Actually, I'm more on Adrek's side. I'm more interested in the food, actually. But I like also the dance, and it's more because I like music and yeah, to go in the music flow. Yeah, yeah, sometimes you dance, but yeah, I'm a big music lover, and I also like food very much. Actually, I was yesterday. I was in a restaurant, all you can eat restaurant, and all you can eat. And then sometimes most of the time, and then they use some steaks, like Angus beef, and some several things, Irish beef, that sort of things. So yeah, yeah. But I think I have also two left feet, just like Matthew Waterhouse. Another note is that Robin Bailey from John Nathan Turner intended for a long time to direct the story himself, but is overseeing season 19 and K9 and Company. It's a spin-off with Sarah Jane Smith. Made this impossible. John Black was asked, but he was also working on K9 and Company. Nathan Turner then selected Ron Jones, whom he knew from his days as a production manager. And actually, K9 and Company with Sarah Jane spin-off was in one episode. Yeah, yeah, it was one episode. There were no further episodes after that. Yeah, later, years later, the Sarah Jane Adventures, by the way, is also recommendable. I watch that Sarah Jane Adventures regularly, and it is very good. I think, and in the future, I will also do the episodes of the Sarah Jane Adventures. Yeah, to have more. Yes, it's a good idea. I want also want to do Torchwood in the future. Okay. This next note is that the scene where George Cranley plummets off the roof went already with stuntman Gareth Milne missing his cushioned target and striking the ground with his legs, the sound of which is clearly audible in the finished program. Fortunately, he wasn't seriously hurt. So, iron legs. Another thing is that Sarah Sutton found playing two roles tiring due to constant costume changes. Ron Jones recalled that finding someone with her build was amazingly problematic. Her double, Vanessa Payne, wasn't even the same height. Next thing is that Barbara Murray and Maury Watson previously appeared in the miniseries The Pallisers, which John Nathan Turner had worked on. Another note is that filming was badly delayed due to industrial action by the Electricians Union. Although Ron Jones worked quickly and John Nathan Turner authorized a costly 1 hour overrun, two scenes in Anne's bedroom in which George spied on his former fiancée had to be abandoned. Jones subsequently tried to repair the damage by using shots of George, which had been recorded the previous day. And last note is that uh, Earl de la Warr was reluctant to let his home be featured in the series, fearing it would become identified and invaded by Doctor Who fans. However, he relented on the condition that personal photography will be controlled. Um, some myths. Black Orchid is the first historical Doctor Who story since the Highlanders, although the story takes place in an earlier era. It's not explicitly a story-based adventure, unlike the Highlanders. It's not set around an historical event and it features no characters from history. However, it is correctly the first non-science fiction serial. This regarding the TARDIS and the presence of the Doctor, two non-Earthling individuals, since the earliest story and to date, the last. Database. Yes, that's not 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 oh no, not certain actually. Um, is required. Okay, we will go further. Some of the filming locations were Buckinghamshire Railway Centre in Buckinghamshire, Buckhurst House with him in East Sussex, Bewdley Steam Railway Worcestershire, Quentin Road Western Buckinghamshire, Whittingham Cricket Club is Whittingham East Sussex, and the BBC Television Centre Studio 3, Shepherd's Bush, London. Okay, some continuity. Last thing in because again in the universe and the different Doctor Who multiverses, stories and episodes have to some extent are related to each other, are referencing to each other, are linked to each other, or from influence to each other. And I have interpretation 5 of 10 things in continuity. And that is first thing, Doc repeats his third incarnation's desire to be a train driver, comic back time. Second thing is that this references their recent part in the Great Fire of London on 2 September 1666, TV story The Visitation. Third thing is that Seven Doctors campaign Ace visited the Craneley's party and briefly met Edric, who flirted with her while she was searching for one of the segments of the key to time. However, Ace was not receptive to his advances and threatened to give him a permanent limp if he continued. Furthermore, she saw either Nissa or Anne. She was unsure as to which, but did not approach her. That is in a comic, actually, in Time and Time Again. Um, a fourth thing is that Anne Talbot reappears in prose, The Sense of Time. A fifth thing is that Lord Cranley mentions quote, the master, end quote, whom he calls also, quote, the other doctor, end quote. This briefly confuses the doctor, thinking it as a reference to the master. A sixth thing is that the doctor gets trapped in a hallway and moans about how he always lets his curiosity get the best of him. They say also in the TV story The Daleks, The Web Planet, The Time Meddler, The Mind of Evil, and The Laser Knife. A seventh thing is that, like the fifth doctor on this occasion, the 11th doctor would later play a sport, namely football, and display a high level of skill. We see that in TV story The Lodger. Actually, there is also football on television now for Euros 2024. We are in the quarterfinals now. In the States of quarterfinals. Eighth thing is that the TARDIS previously materializes on the Strange Station platform in the 1920s, namely in Kent in November 1920 during the Doctor's second incarnation. That's an audio remoteless death. It would later to do so again in Calcutta, British India on 1 December 1926, also in an audio that's called The Emerald Tiger. The ninth thing is that this story occurs before prose that is in prose in the TARDIS Christmas Day. And the last thing, the tenth, is the sixth Doctor would later describe Black Orchid as a quote a boy's own adventure about an aristocrat who jumped through the Brazilian rainforests, depriving the natives of their orchids. And we see that we can hear that in the audio story Year of the Pig. So, and that, my friends and companions, is all I have to say about this story. The commercials. Sci-Fi and fantasy fans on this channel meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and especially a special place on this channel for my most beloved sci-fi series, Doctor Who. Random things on this channel because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and movies, jokes and laughter. Random because we're broadcast on non-fixed times, actually many different times. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on to join me in a live stream or panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via YouTube. You can actually put a comment on one of my videos, and you can contact me via Discord. Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tag Doctor Who. On Discord, you find me very quick. So you can contact me via YouTube and Discord, and we will look what is possible. And feel free to also invite me for your channel for a live stream panel. I am available. I want to make friends and network, and I want to talk about all things what we like. So, in summary, you are invited to this channel, and feel free to invite me for your channel. So, cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. This is your host, Enigmatic Joker. So, I'm looking forward to meet you. So, have a nice day. See you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.